Okay, so I'm going to do the second part of this, I think it's only going to be 2 parts of this post that I found. So I got to the point where we got to where the individual who made this explained how essentially transgender people don't really have fully cis bodies. Okay. That's a very sticky area, and I know some people could be very upset by that. But let's go on. So, trans women and trans men, despite their identity being a complete man or complete woman and transitioning, their body is androgynous. Now, why do we as a society feel so desperate to not acknowledge that, and even for the trans people themselves? We agree with their identity as binary and erase their androgynous body, because we think androgyny is wrong, it's alien, it's from another planet, it's incomplete, etc. It's not one of us. But still, as a society, they have to some extent, or else the bathroom issue would not exist. Okay, you're a woman. Alright, you're a woman. Then they walk into the bathroom, get out, get out, you're not a woman, you're a man. It shows that society is really, what society is really thinking, that they play their game and give them what they want up to a point, but stop acknowledging or doing that when they walk into a bathroom or walk into the bathroom of the opposite sex with children in it. Okay, I'm going to pause with that. Won't you please think of the children? Okay. This argument about transgender not being able to use the bathroom, to me, is just asinine. Because there have been boys that have been diddled by men more often than men diddling little girls in the bathroom. Pedophilia is usually same-sex, and it's a man overpowering a little boy. It's disgusting, and it's not cool, but that's what is going on. So the bit about when a transgender person walks into the bathroom of the opposite sex with when there's children in there, it's such a, I don't know how to describe it. It's not one of my favorite things. Alright, so let's go back. Or doing that when they walk into a bathroom of the opposite sex and with children in it. Then it's a dilemma, and people don't want them in either bathroom now because they are 2 women for the men's room and 2 men for the women's room. That's androgyny. There becomes a crisis the world doesn't want to deal with. Jesus Christ, I don't want to build a 3rd bathroom for these people. Ugh! So I don't want to acknowledge this, so I'm going to just give up and give them the runaround. But it's proof of androgyny. In binary trans people, and overwhelming amount of proof of how much society thinks it's wrong to be androgynous. And furthermore, how there is no place in society for that. It's outside the structure. I think this person's being a little over the top. Androgyny was accepted in the art world. David Bowie again, Ross Williams, a lot of the goth scene. Hell, the early goth scene was androgyny. Androgyny was a huge part of the goth scene, and it wasn't masculine androgyny. It was feminine. Always, the guys would be feminine, and the girls would be ultra feminine, or something to that effect. Alright, so what essentially happens is everyone who is non-binary, these trans men and trans women, start taking all of that negative feelings that they felt during their androgynous stage of their transition and dump it on non-binary people. They tell them, no, you're incomplete, you need to finish the job, and you're in denial because you look like me. If they stay that way, they shame them to no end. You're wrong, you're ugly, you look horrible, you don't know who you are. more than likely all the same internal messages they said to themselves during that stage they were in. Most likely they are still dealing with these internal messages, and this how transgender people turn into plastic surgery addicts and body dysmorphic obsessive tendencies because they keep trying to rid themselves of that state, the androgyny. I have absolutely no intention of surgically or hormonally changing my body. I have no intention of changing my body just to fit society's rules. Sorry, my lip is itching. Mainstream society, who is cisgender and ignorant, they don't like androgyny non-binary because it destroys their structure. Hence, why there is no third bathroom, and why that is a crisis. So they just say, you're queer, you're gay, because you don't fit our structure. You're doing it wrong. And they basically give you an ultimatum. Except you are gay and of the gender you are born as, and admit that the reason why you look like a mess and doing the wrong things, or go get a sex change and finish the job. On top of that, as I said before, everyone starting as a kid, with the exception of true transsexuals, never thought about gender and essentially felt like they had none. I believe that memory plays into fear of cisgender people, which also becomes the reason why they hate androgynous non-binary people. Okay, I'm thinking this individual had a very negative experience sometime in their life, a negative experience that makes my negative experience look like nothing. Because they use the word hate, and I don't think it's hate. I think it's misunderstanding. I think it's fear. And of course, fear leads to hate. You know, almost got into a Yoda mode there. But yes, fear leads to hate. And it's sad. It is truly sad that people are still fearful of that which is different. Of course, there's a reason for it. I understand that, and you have to get into biology for that stuff. Alright. But I have noticed that binary trans people always say that I'm trans. They're always saying, no, you're trans, or you're an ugly trans. I have gotten that too. I've gotten, you are an ugly drag queen. You know what? I know my face is wrinkly. I know my makeup isn't the best. First of all, because I'm goth, early goth makeup wasn't the best. It was harsh. It was non-standard. The foundation was more than 2 or 3 shades lighter than their natural skin. The makeup was not perfect. Nowadays, it is. A lot of the people who post goth pictures, it's perfect. But back then, it wasn't. It was rough. The edges were rough. It was stark. It was, you know, and that's what my makeup style is. There are times where I can do a very nice, balanced makeup look. But, you know, I just, wow, where was I going with that? I totally forgot what I was at. Alright, well, let's go on with this. Alright, about how the binary trans sort of shove you into these boxes as well. And yes, I do believe it is from their own persecution, dare I say. It's kind of like, my girlfriend, one of my girlfriends was intersex, and she was attracted to my androgyny, and she liked it. But then over time, I think her friends started saying things, and it started working on her head, and she, in one time in our conversation, stated, if I'm going to date a man, he needs to look like a man. Now, she's intersex, which means she was born with both. And she was forced to be raised as a boy. So she knows what it's like to have her own expression limited by their gender, or by the gender that their parents wanted them to be in. but it was just funny that she would do that. Now, I kind of think she was influenced. I could be completely wrong on that, but I think she was influenced by her friends. But how she could do that after knowing what it's like to be limited in her expression, you know. But that's an example of how our society sort of shoves us into these boxes and that sort of thing, like what this thing is explaining. Alright. I've heard them say countless times, well, I'm a girl and I wear a dress, but I also wear a casual t-shirt and jeans, but I'm not gender fluid. I didn't change genders. I'm not suddenly a girl, then a boy. You're all stupid. That's not a new gender. I didn't change my gender. You're all just being transgender. And they miss the point. Either they think androgynous, non-binary people actually feel fully like their birth gender and just like to change clothes, or the person who said that doesn't actually feel a gender and only does because of the socialization of importance attached to clothes, and thus are scared that they might be one of these people, so they attack them to prove they aren't binary. Yes. What this individual was talking about was a trans person saying, well, I'm a girl and I wear a dress, but I also wear a casual t-shirt and jeans, but I'm not gender fluid. Well, guess what? Neither am I. I'm not gender fluid. Oh, come on. I'm not gender fluid myself. I don't switch from being being a boy or a girl. I'm just me. That's how I am. All of these are case examples of why we think androgyny is wrong, and hence why people don't like non-binary. Alright, now reading that last bit, I think I know what group this was in. It was in a, I think it was in an intersex group. And intersex non-binary. Non-binary intersex group. I think that's what it was. And they were explaining, as you can see, they were explaining why society doesn't like us. I think they're kind of inflating. I think they're being a little too negative, a little hard on themselves, but it's totally understandable. I could totally see where this person was coming from. So yeah, that is this post that I found. I would like to know what you think of it. I'd like to know what you thought about my commentary on it and about androgyny in general. And like I said, I don't see androgyny as trans. It kind of falls into the transgender umbrella, but personally, I just wish it wouldn't be seen as that. I just wish it would be seen as just another style. That's what I wish it was. Now, my androgyny is much more extreme than a lot of people's androgyny. But there are people that are very much like how I am, definitely in the goth scene. So, that's it. Leave your comments down below. I will be hopefully making more videos in the future. Alright. Bye-bye.